Okay, so today we'll do the third way of your session management. That is called as HTTP session. That is called as what? HTTP session. ठीक है, ये class है. So what we'll have to do is make an object of this HTTP session. You can name whatever name you want to give to it. So let's say I give it what name? Session. I can also give session 1. I can also give ses. I can give ses 1. Whatever name I wish to give. So what name am I giving? HTTP session. Session will hold the data from login to logout. From login till logout. If you want to hold any data in your application, we can put it where in the session. So it's a dynamic array. So as I make HTTP session equal to request dot get session, and as I write over here true, this true means a new session array has been created by what name? By name session. This array, the size of this array is not definite. You can add as many values in this array, and the user, the programmer, can specify the index. Okay, so indexing are not 0, 1, 2, 3 like a normal array. Okay, so this array we can provide the index and the value. Value has to be an object. Value has to be an index has to be a string. Index has to be a string, and value has to be an. So you can pass as many string objects in the array, and then when we log out, we will invalidate this session array. Session dot invalidate means this array will be destroyed. Okay, and you can also set a timer for this interval, that from login to log out, let's say a person should spend, by default it is 30 minutes, means 1800 seconds. Yes or no? Yes or no? So the reason of using a session is if somebody has logged in and he is not doing any activity. If 10 people have logged into your application and they are not doing any activity, so they are just consuming resources. What are they doing? Just consuming the server resources. So we can log them out. So after 5 minutes, I will log that user out. This happens normally in banking applications. So if user has logged in, within 5 minutes, he should finish the transaction. If he doesn't finish, he will be logged out. Then again, he has to log in. Okay, that is called as max interval. That is called as what? So by default, what is the max interval? By default, what is the max interval? 1800 seconds. How much? We can change it and we can say that in my application it is not half an hour, it is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes means how many seconds? So if I set this max interval time to 300 means this session array will evaporate after how many seconds? 300 seconds. Means after 5 minutes, if you try to access the session array, it will say no data found. Because this array, I am giving a life of how much? The max interval. So you can set the max interval, get the max interval. Am I understood? So this is a very limited time data, you can say. This data is there for very limited time, because once a user logs in, he doesn't stay logged in for 1 month, 2 months, does he? If you log into your Flipkart, how much time will you be logged in? Or if you are logged into a ICICI banking app to transfer money, you will log in, you will transfer money, and then you will log out. How much time does that take? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So that is what session is used for. Okay. So as the user logs in, create a array, put some data into it. That array will have a life. After that life, that array will not be accessible. Okay. And if okay, let's say you have given the life of the array as 300 seconds, means 5 minutes. If the user finishes his work in 2 minutes, then what will you do? Then you'll do session.invalidate. Then you will by program delete the array. So what will this do? Session.invalidate will by force delete this array, because this array is by naturally is going to be deleted after 300, but if the user has finished his work in 120 seconds, then what will we do? We will log out, and then on logout, what will I do? Session.invalidate. Okay. So how this works is, let's say we'll try to do the same task which we have been doing using hidden fields and URL rewriting to greet the user on login and to thank the user on logout. So once a user logs in Alice, password Alice, request comes to where? Request comes to where? Login servlet. So we will make one more new login servlet. We have already made two login servlets, right? Previously, login for login for hidden fields and login for URL rewriting. So we'll make one more login for session, and then here in the login servlet we will create the session, and we will put the username as a value in the session. Okay. Okay, let's try it practically, then maybe you'll understand better. Or maybe let me take a new slide. Let me take a new slide to explain you. So this is my login.html. This will route to which page? Login HTML will route to which page, guys? Login servlet. Login servlet. So this is my login servlet. So in the login servlet, I will read the username and password. So, and I'll show you the string variable. Correct? Now you all know this, right? This need not to be explained much now. Okay, request.get parameter, you all know that. So if I have entered Alice as a username, what is in this variable? Alice. So now what I'll do is I'll make a HTTP session. What name should I give the object? Here the programmer has a choice to name the object. So if you can give any name. So I'll give a standard name as, and we are going to use the request object to create the session. So do I have the array now? Yes or no? Do I have the session array created? Before this, do I have any session array created in the application? Is there any session array currently in the application? Not there. Because I will draw the array. When I will make the array, I will draw the array. Have I drawn any array now? No. Now has any session array been created? Yes or no? Yes. So here you have to write over here true. True means that you are creating a new session array. So this will behind the scenes go and create a array of this nature, let's say. Right now I'll just put some two indexes over here. Okay, this. Okay, and what is the name of this array? Session. Okay. And then to add values in this array, we have set attribute. What do we have? So I will say session dot set attribute. Okay, and then the key, that is the index, I will give as user, or I will say logged in user. What is this? This is the key, and the value I'll give as username. So what happens over here now? A key becomes by what name? Logged in user. And what is the value of that user? Whichever user has logged in over here. So if Alice has logged in, then so what will come over here? Alice. Okay. What time she has logged in, if you want to put that also, so we can later on display. So I can say what? Session dot set attribute. Which one? Login time. Login time. And here you have to pass what? An object, right? So you can say new date. You can pass object of the date. So here what will be the next key? So how many keys are there in the session array now? Yes, guys. Oh. Namely, and let's say logged in as 17 March 2025. Correct? And then I want to go to the next shop servlet. So you can make a hyperlink and go. This we have done last time around. That make a hyperlink, give a href. As you know, we had given shop sf. Yes or no? So I'll go give shop and we'll say what? Go to shopping page. This we had done right in the first one when we were doing hidden fields or URL rewriting we were doing, right? And blah blah. Now when I click on go to shopping page, you can print this, right? You'll have to do what? You'll have to print this. So whatever HTML you have to write, you have to write within the print method of the out object. And the out object is of which class? Print writer. So this all will be in double quotes. Make sense? And we'll have to close the A also. Then double quote will close. So now when I click on go to shopping page, it will route to the shop URL pattern and then will take me to where? Will take me to the, yes guys, which servlet? Shopping servlet, correct? There, how will I say thank you, Alice? I will read from the session. So here also I need to have access to this session array. So what will I do over here? The same line I have to write again. Which one? But now see the difference. If I write over here true, then it will make one more array. So you want to make one more array or do you want to use the existing array? Your username and login time are there in this existing array, right? So login HTTP session request dot create session true will make one more array because this is a separate class. So it will make a separate array for this class also. So do you want to make a separate array or do you want it, do you want the shop servlet to use the session which was made by the login servlet? What you want to do, right? So here you will say false. Here you will say what? False. That please do not make a new array I want to continue using the array which is already there by this name. So there is an array by this name already made by whom? Login servlet. So that's why I put over here what? Remember this, okay? Else you will have difficulty in accessing the values. So only on the first time we will write true, and then if we are using this array across 10 different servlets, in the remaining 9 we will write, in the first servlet we will write true, and in the remaining 9 we will write false, and the array name should be same. Array name should be same. And then now if you want to say thank you Alice, what will you say? Setter getter. So this was set attribute, and here what will you say? Here what will you say, guys? Just use your common, just use a past experience of Java. Thank you. Now from where do I get Alice? From where do I get Alice now? Hmm? From the session dot get attribute. And what is the index where Alice is there? Hmm? What is the index? Logged in user. As simple as that. Okay. And now will I be going further? If this is the last page, if this is the last page, then I'll do over here what? Session dot invalid. Means I'm now deleting this session array. Now any other servlet, if it goes from here, will not be able to access these values because session array has been deleted. So after making a session, if you want to set the time that this session array will be lasting only for this much time, then you can say set max inactive interval. After making the array, what you can say? Set session dot set max inactive interval. So by default, what is that? How much time is that by default? By default, it is how much time? 1800 seconds. So if I now say 60, means what? 1 minute, means within 1 minute I should click on the go to shopping page. If I click on the go to shopping page after 70 seconds, will it show me thank you Alice? No, because from the array which I am fetching, Alice is not there. Are you getting this concept? Simple. Now this is the most widely used to maintain session because you can keep on adding as many values in the array. Okay, let's try to do a practical of this. So do you all want me to use the same login servlet, or should I make a separate servlet for this? Oh, this is fine, right? So now I'll route it to, let's say, session API. We call it as what? We call it as session API. So I go to session, access session API. Now what to do now? Web INF, web XML, and now take a pair of servlet mapping and do what? Where did I route it to? Session API. Let's come here and do what? Session API. So then what will we do? This is login or what? So what will we do? How have we named our previous logins? Hidden fields shopping, login hidden fields, login URL servlet. So what will I do? Login HTTP session. Okay. So how will you name this? यहाँ है ना, ये था ना क्या नाम? सेशन एपीआई था, तो लॉगिन क्या बोल देंगे? लॉगिन HTTP session. और फिर ये कॉपी करेंगे और यहाँ पर, और फिर क्या कर देंगे, log in http session servlet. Okay, all good. Then I have to make a class by what name? Okay, I'll clear my console and the server before I create a server भी खाली है, console भी खाली है. I come here, right click, new, make a class, right? Yes, right?
No, sir, servlet.
This will take some time. So where is it now? Here. So बाकी जो चीज़ें सेम है वो मैं ले लेता हूँ. Okay, login HTTP session. What are we using? Do get, right? So I come and paste this over here. थोड़ा बड़ा कर देता हूँ. तो यूजर नेम लिया, पासवर्ड लिया, और क्या बोले, HTTP session welcomes Alice, and then what to do? Make a HTTP as the right HTTP says, control space bar, keep on writing HTTP session. आ गया. नाम क्या दो? कंपलसरी है? हाँ, कंपलसरी नहीं है, आपको जो देना दे सकते हैं. हम यही सेशन. ओके, इक्वल्स टू request dot get session. Now am I making a new session array over here? Am I making a new session array over here? So what I'll write, true or false? True. And then what will I put in the session? The attributes what? So session dot set attribute. ठीक है, की जो है वो स्ट्रिंग से होगी और वैल्यू हमेशा एक ऑब्जेक्ट होगा. तो क्या रखना है? लॉग, आप जो आपको नाम देना है आप वो दो. और कौन है लॉग्ड इन यूजर? लॉग्ड इन यूजर कौन है? टाइम भी रिकॉर्ड करना है उसका. सेशन डॉट सेट एट्रीब्यूट login time, because these are not fixed keys. Okay, you can give whatever key you want to give, and then I'll pass value as an object. कंट्रोल शिफ्ट ओ, डेट को इंपोर्ट कर लो यूटिल से. हो गया. अब मुझे जाना है शॉपिंग सर्वलेट पे. तो कैसे करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे भाई, किसको याद है? हु कैन प्रॉम्प्ट मी? ये हो गया हमारा प्रिंट का डबल कोट्स. ओके, इसमें आ जाएगा एक एंकर टैग. एंकर टैग ओपन, एंकर टैग क्लोज. ए ओपन और ए क्लोज. ठीक है, फिर इसका आ जाएगा एचरेफ. क्योंकि मैंने डबल कोट्स, आई यूज डबल कोट्स, I will not use a double quotes over. If I use a double quote over here, what will happen? This will become my starting double quote. This will become my ending double quote. So for that, I will use a single quote. And where am I going to href? This will be a action. This will be a action. So what I'll do? Shop. We are for we are doing HF for hidden fields, right? So what will I use over here? Shop test. ठीक है. और यहाँ क्या लिख देंगे फिर? Go to shopping page. Make sense? Simple as that. Then I need this entry where? In the web XML. Yes or no? I copy this and I paste it over here. क्या नाम दिया है? शॉप. एस सिंगल का डबल? पक्का? कैन आई ट्रस्ट यू ऑल? यस, सिंगल है, ठीक है। सो फिर रुका जाएगा सेशन शॉपिंग, क्या डाल देंगे इसको हम, और सेशन शॉपिंग को उठा के डाल देंगे यहाँ पर, और क्या बोल देंगे, सेशन शॉपिंग सर्वलेट। मेक सेंस? इज दिस देयर विद अस? Not there. So let's go and create a new servlet, class name, finish, and let's go to do get. And now here I want to thank. So where's the shop servlet? किसका shop servlet ले लो भाई, ये है ना shop servlet, ये हमने कॉपी कर लिया। हमारा कहाँ गया, सेशन शॉप सर्वलेट, ये हो गया। यूजर नेम कहाँ से रीड करेंगे, यूजर नेम कहाँ से रीड करेंगे? ओके, सेशन बनाना पड़ेगा ना इधर, पहले सेशन बनाना पड़ेगा, राइट। तो ये लाइन लिखनी पड़ेगी, कौन सी, ये वाली, करेक्ट। तो will this line as it is be fine? Yes, no, maybe? Why no? So यहाँ पर क्या होगा फिर अभी, false होगा, because we are going to use the existing session array, right, not the new one. And then now from the session, वहां पर क्या set attribute है, क्या करेंगे, get attribute, कौन सा, कौन सा attribute, तो क्या से ले लो, ज़्यादा डॉक्टरी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, do not try to type it directly, you can use it. Who's this? So Anjali, mute him please. Okay, and this will give me a string, this will give me a string, so I'll type, because वो ऑब्जेक्ट दे रहा है ना, वो ऑब्जेक्ट किस टाइप का है हमें पता नहीं है, तो स्ट्रिंग में, ठीक है। अब वो कौन से डेट पे भी उसने लॉग इन किया था वो दिखाना है, तो फिर कैसे करेंगे, डेट, ओके, लेट्स से डेट D1 इज, अब कैसे करेंगे बोलो, सेशन डॉट गेट एट्रीब्यूट, कौन सा, बोलो। तो ये सब कॉपी पेस्ट ही कर लिया करो ताकि स्पेलिंग का इशू ना हो। एंड दैट विल बी ऑफ व्हाट टाइप नाउ, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट और डेट को इंपोर्ट कर लो यूटिल से, ठीक है, इंपोर्ट हो गया ना, हाँ। देन अगेन नाउ pass it to date, so it is giving me an object type, right, and then thank you from http session to user, okay, got it. And then once this is done, I can do what then, session dot invalidate, सेशन क्या हो गया, खत्म हो गया। इसके बाद अगर कोई जाके यही लाइन लिखेगा तो अलाउ करेगा, ये लाइन, ओके। उसके इनवैलिडेट के बाद में अगर मैं बोलूँ कि लॉगिन टाइम फेच करना है, विल इट अलाउ मी, इट विल नॉट अलाउ, बिकॉज सेशन में कोई लॉगिन टाइम की अभी है ही नहीं, सेशन खत्म हो चुका है, करेक्ट। सो लेट्स ट्राई टू यूज इट बिफोर दिस। नाउ व्हाट इज द मैक्स इनएक्टिव इंटरवल नाउ, बाय डिफॉल्ट, नो, 30 minutes by default, 1 minute you have to set, by default it is 30 minutes, means I can click on this, I can take 30 minutes to click on the shopping page, no problem, because till 30 minutes the data is there in the session. So let's save it now. and let's run it. So we are using the same login file, right? Login new. Okay, now let's log in with any of the user. Let's log in with Tom and 123. I click on login. It says HTTP session welcomes Tom. Now I have how much time to click on this? 30 seconds. The data will be there. If I click it right now, thank you HTTP session to. Now if I come here and in the login servlet, when I had made this session here, as I make the session, I say that the session dot max inactive interval should be. If you want to read what the time is right now, you can let's sys out that will not display on the console, will not display on the browser, will display on the console. So how do we say that? Session dot get max inactive interval. So what is that time? How much? 1800 means 1800 seconds. Okay, so you can concatenate over here and say this value divide by 60. Now what happens? Now how much? Minutes. So 1800 divided by 60 means 30 minutes. So let's save it now. And then again we'll do a rerun. Has the application rebooted? Yeah, looks like. Let's come back. So where's the browser over here? Let's refresh. Okay. And let's now log in with Jerry. Password 123. Login. It says HTTP session welcomes Jerry, and it would have displayed on the console how much is the max inactive interval. How much? 1800 divided by 60 gives you 30. And units are given as, I should have given a space over here, right? Next time we'll give the space. Now how much time do I have now? 30 seconds, because I'm assured that for 30 seconds, for 30 minutes, I'll keep the data. If I now go and fidget with this and go and change it. So if I say this was the old one, okay? So this is the default, okay? Then I go and change this, that I want it to be 1 minute. So what will I have to do? Session dot get max inactive interval. So get means read. So write will be set max inactive interval, and I say 60. You have to give units of second. You have to give units of. So what is the new now? How much? How much? Now the updated is how much? Default inactive interval is, and then updated. Now how much is that? So now this information will be in the session for how much time now? 60 seconds means only for a minute. So if I click on the go to shop servlet within 1 minute, I'll get the data. And if I click after 1 minute, then session has been evaporated. You will not get anything. Let's check. We'll try to do both the ways. Okay. We'll try to do by both the ways. So let's come again. How do you spell Doraemon? Is this the right spelling? RAE. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So it says welcome. And now within 1 minute, I'm clicking. So it says thank you. Okay. Let's come next time now. Okay. Give any name. And now put a timer. Put a timer on your clock, guys. टाइमर टाइम नहीं, टाइमर लगा दो. स्टार्ट कर दो. स्टार्ट किया. 1, 2, 3 स्टार्ट. ठीक है. अब 60 सेकेंड्स के बाद मुझे बोलना कि ऐसा टाइमर हो गया है. फिर जब क्लिक करेंगे तो देखेंगे कि क्या आता है. तो सेशन बहुत कम टाइम के लिए डेटा स्टोर करता है, यूजर के लॉगिन से लेके लॉग आउट तक. Okay, so I've been informed we have passed 1 minute and let's come over here and say क्या बोल रहा है वो. नहीं मिल रहा है. नल पॉइंटर एक्सेप्शन कि आप जो की मांग रहे हैं वो की है ही नहीं, नल है. समझ में आ गया. ओके. So then what should we have done? We should have been wise enough that now this code has a tendency of throwing null pointer exception. Yes. So we should have written this code now in try catch, right? सेशन का कोड. और फिर क्या करते थे अगर वो एक्सेप्शन आ जाए, कौन सा, नल पॉइंटर एक्सेप्शन, तो फिर हम लोग क्या करेंगे, आउट डॉट प्रिंट कर देंगे सेशन एक्सपायर्ड. क्या दिखा देंगे, सेशन एक्सपायर, प्लीज री लॉग इन. देखा है तुम लोगों ने ऐसे मैसेज देखा है, प्लीज log in again. Okay, because I have verified that the exception is null pointer exception. Okay, so अभी वापस वो ड्रिल करना पड़ेगा, वापस वो ड्रिल करना पड़ेगा. ओके. सो 1, 2, 3 टाइमर लगाओ भाई. रेडी. हाँ. 1, 2, 3 स्टार्ट. It's time up and let's try to do that. And then it says session expired, please log in again. Make sense? Does this make sense? It's very